Hello, my name is Jacob Henningsgaard, and today I'm going to talk to you about cyberspace, the next frontier in warfare. Before we jump into cyber warfare, let's first talk about hacking, how it's evolved, and about the common classifications of hacking known today. So, as we learned from our book, beginning from the 1960s to the present, there's really three main phases of hacking. Phase 1 occurred from the 1960s to the 1970s and was generally referred to as a good thing. The term hacking was used to define clever coding. Phase 2 overlaps Phase 1 a bit, starting in the 1970s, carrying on through the 1990s. And was a time when hacking was really considered a bad thing, generally associated with people who had malicious intent. After Phase 2, Phase 3 begins, coinciding with the growth and explosion of the internet. Here we see hacking evolve, spawning good hackers, bad hackers, and everyone in between. There are three main classifications of hackers commonly known today: white hat hackers, black hat hackers, and finally, gray hat hackers. White hat hackers are generally considered the good guys, often hired by companies or governments. Their job is usually to make sure computer systems are as secure as possible. They seek permission before they begin hacking and primarily focus on penetration testing. On the flip side, black hat hackers are the bad guys. They are guided only by personal gain and/or malicious intent. They usually operate illegally, often violating several laws to accomplish their goals. Gray hat hackers fall somewhere in between. They do not act maliciously, however, they usually do not have permission. Their actions generally do not harm, nor do they help anyone. The most visible form of cyber warfare is personal cyber warfare. We witness this all the time in our daily lives. It could be the threat of someone stealing our identity, as was the case for a senior staff writer for Wired who has his online accounts stolen and then held ransom. Or possible bank fraud. A highly organized fraud ring developed malicious software specifically targeting the wealthy. The software was sophisticated enough to conduct unauthorized wire transfers from victims' accounts without them knowing. Next, we have government cyber warfare. Here we see two main categories: offensive warfare and defensive warfare. Offensive government cyber warfare generally take the form of a well-orchestrated cyber attack. One of the most recent and well-known attacks, believed to be organized and sanctioned by the US and Israel, is a computer worm known as Stuxnet. When Stuxnet was launched, it made its way into Iran's nuclear computer control systems. Here we can see a quick breakdown of how Stuxnet worked. First, the infection. Stuxnet enters a system via a USB stick and proceeds to infect all machines running Microsoft Windows. Number 2, the search. Stuxnet then checks whether a given machine is part of the targeted industrial control system made by Siemens. Number 3, in the update, if the system isn't a target, Stuxnet does nothing. If it is, the worm attempts to access the internet and download a more recent version of itself. Number 4, the compromise. The worm then compromises the target system's logic controllers, exploiting zero-day vulnerability software weaknesses that have been identified by security experts. Number 5, control. In the beginning, Stuxnet spies on the operations of the targeted system. Then it uses the information it has gathered to take control of the nuclear centrifuges, making them spin themselves to failure. Finally, number 6, deceive and destroy. Meanwhile, it provides false feedback to outside controllers, ensuring that they won't know what's going wrong until it's too late to do anything about it. Defensive government cyber warfare can often take the form of training and exercise. Recently, the U.S., along with Britain and several companies, conducted and participated in cyber warfare games. These games are usually designed to prepare the participants in the event of a cyber attack. One such exercise involved a computer version of Capture the Flag. Here, 2 or more teams are given a network and a flag, usually a specific file to protect. They must also simultaneously attempt to capture or retrieve the opponent's flag. So where does that leave us? Well, there are a few things we can do to keep ourselves protected. First, stay educated. Not all hackers are bad. In fact, there are 2 conferences known as the Black Hat Conference and the DEF CON Conference that hope to keep people educated and to teach the latest and greatest cybersecurity tricks. Second, manage your personal digital identity. Have a good password management system and use 2-step verification when possible, and know what kind of presence you have online. Thirdly, stay informed. Know what measures the U.S. is taking to protect our cyber interests, and know who poses a threat. Finally, get a degree in computer science or computer engineering and fight on the front lines of cyber warfare.